Hello and welcome back to your boy Zekin playing Enter the Gungeoneer. What do we got here? Vorpal gun. Oh, flak bullets. Vorpal gun. Flak. Okay, my body wants the Vorpal gun because I don't mean to brag, but I D&D. And Vorpal is quite the word. You know, it usually means that heads come off. Some sort of dismemberment, to be sure. It's also a... who's that guy? C.S. Lewis, I think, reference? The Jabberwocky? I'm pretty sure that's C.S. Lewis. What I'm saying, anyway, is that the Vorpal gun, it speaks to me on a level that, flak bullets don't. But when I imagine flak bullets, I imagine my bullets breaking apart as I shoot them, and that sounds really awesome. Just from like a mechanical standpoint. That's like mechanics versus flavor right there. And just like how I play D&D, I'm choosing mechanics 100% of the time. Choose mechanics, then choose flavor. That's all I do. You know? I want to play a warlock. I'm playing a warlock. I'll make it work. I do like D&D. D&D is awesome, man. The friggin', what do you want to call it? The ascension of D&D into pop culture has been awesome to watch. I feel like there's a large subset of people who I like to refer to as douchebag gatekeepers, who get like kind of like annoyed or like pissed off that like, oh man, all these noobs are, oh man, it's not real, dude. Oh this. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. It's the same thing that happened during like the superhero movie rise, and then later or earlier than that, I suppose, the Big Bang Theory days. Like, people are like, oh man, this isn't real. Oh man, like I don't like how people are taking the thing that I love and then also loving it, but in a different way that I don't like. It's like, shut up, man. That opinion is, listen. The only thing that happens when stuff that, quote unquote nerd culture really enjoys gets hugely popular is that, like, big studios and, whatever else throw tons of dollars at it. Like, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Millions of dollars. It's the best. The whole Marvel movie franchise, man. Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League film, which I haven't seen it, hopefully be less garbage than the original cut, but I mean, we'll see. These animated features getting tons of money. And listen, as much as you want to poo-poo on the old DC for its live-action, animated, hands down, it's the best. Way better than Marvel. And all I'm saying is that whenever stuff like that quote-unquote is, popular story, quote-unquote nerd culture, is like, gets adopted by the mainstream, however you want to say this, okay? I'm making a point. I'll get there. It's good. It's good for it. It's always good for it. It's never bad for it, except like it gets a bit watered down sometimes. Boo-hoo, it gets watered down. Who cares? But it's like, especially for things like D&D, people are like, well, D&D's getting watered down. Are you dumb? Are you... D&D is... you make D&D up when you play it, every time. Unless you're a fogey, or, and you only can read the adventure booklet. It's like, if you only know how to read the adventure booklet, why are you claiming that other people are not real D&D players, man? Oh, well, 5e is really watered down, and the popularization of D&D made it way more watered down. It's called homebrew, man. Everyone knows homebrew. If you are elitist enough to complain about the purity of D&D, then just homebrew it so that you have fun again. That's it. There you go. You don't like the fact that the rules are watered down in 5e? Guess what? There's a simple solution. It's called use an old system or homebrew 5e to be more in line with what you want. Done. Now you're enjoying D&D. You know? Very easy. Everyone can do it. Even these people who get pooped on for being, I don't even know what you would say. What you would call people who are like new to D&D because it got popular. Fake D&D lovers or whatever. You know, to the rude person I invented in my brain. Even they can come up with their own stuff. That's the magic of D&D, man. People are like, oh man, but like, oh man, this guy's, like he wants to make Deadpool. Like D&D isn't for Deadpool. Get it? What are you talking about, dude? How many Drizzt clones existed when those books came out? Like it was like a bajillion. How many rangers with wolf pets do you still have today? It's a bajillion. I just don't get the outcry or outrage or whatever. People like enjoying something a different way, especially when the result is that it gets just money falls from the sky for these things now. Like there hasn't been as much new content for like good, high quality, high budget content for D&D in a long time. You know, just be happy with all the influx of cash into the game that you supposedly love. But not other people can't love it. They don't. I don't know. I'm getting outraged. And no one in particular. I'm just getting outraged. It's like, anyway, it's like the Marvel movie thing. It's just like gatekeeping for the sake of gatekeeping. Like, okay, fine, you want gatekeep, it's fun, go for it, whatever. But like, people shouldn't have to, you know, enjoy the stuff they enjoy. Anyway, you know, I'm losing my focus here on the game. But long story short, yeah, no. I love how huge D&D is lately. I love all of the good that it's done for the game. I love that there's been like a subsection of people that like hate the new D&D and then, or that like people like D&D a different way than them, and then you can just be like, hey man, you're less chill than I thought you were, bro. You know, we have a key, but we would need 2 to get this blue chest here. We don't have enough muns to get it from the shop, unfortunately. That's a pretty big feels bad. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's like the whole Marvel movie stuff. Like when those movies first came out and people started wearing like the Flash shirt and stuff like that, they're like, that's not even Marvel, dude. Or like when people, you know, caught on to which superheroes were part of which franchises, and they started wearing the right T-shirts. You know what I mean by right here is like the appropriate T-shirt to the media that they're consuming. I mean, you gotta admit though, the Flash's logo is pretty sexy. Like, it's pretty good. Lightning bolt in a circle. Come on. Anyway, and then people are like, oh, well, you don't really like Marvel. You like the Marvel movies. Oh, hello? What does that even mean? Like, why because it's written in like a comic book, is it like more legitimate than when, you know, anyway. I mean, you want to talk about comic books? Like, talk about Marvel comic books, dude. A lot of them are not great. This is less true now, I feel like. But back in the day, they were definitely more classic and less good. You know? I don't know. Not a hugest Marvel fan myself. I'm more of a DC fan, which is unfortunate because, listen, DC is getting dumpstered in the box office. And not because, like, DC's movies are great but underrated. No, they're bad. A lot of them. Wonder Woman's been doing pretty solid. I even enjoyed the latest Wonder Woman, which, you know, some people would be... They would want to have words with me about that. I thought it was great. It was a rip-roaring, fun time I enjoyed that they got, like, pretty good actors for everybody. I enjoyed that they got some good memeage in there. The graphics were pretty okay. Like that they got Steve back. Chris Pine's awesome. Gal Gadot is obviously a legend. I don't know, man. Pretty sure Pedro Pascal was in that movie. And he also crushed it. And my favorite part of the whole movie, though, is when at... Well, this is a spoiler. You know what? You know what? I'm going to say it anyway. Close your ears if you want to avoid getting spoilered. Okay? That's what I'm doing now. That's how I play now. My favorite part of the movie is when the son of Pedro Pascal says a line which includes the phrase, "You're my dad." Because the only thing that I could think of is that Vine where the guy's like, "You're my dad, boogie woogie woogie," and that made me chuckle quite a bit more than it should have at what was supposed to be a pretty emotional scene. So, all right, so we're gonna use our space bar item here to grab ammo for the bolter. No, this isn't the bolter. What gun is this? Rubidyne prototype. We'll save our money for more ammo for the Rubidyne prototype. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed a lot of the parts of the movie. There were a couple parts that were bad. Listen, it wasn't... None of these movies are perfect, man. Especially not after they're done by DC. But, you know, it was pretty good. No, these Marvel movies have been amazing. Truly amazing. I can't remember the last time, like, being stoked every time a movie came out that wasn't like the Harry Potter movies when I was a kid. Which I was super stoked for all the time, believe you me. Man, taking like 6 damage in that room was really the bad call. But no, yeah, the new Marvel films are dope. New D&D is dope. Don't be such a gatekeeping dick. Just like with Big Bang Theory. Like, listen, that show was not... It was not kind to, like, being a nerd when it was out. A lot of the time they were poking fun at nerds. But to be fair, like, the show wasn't really marketed as a show for nerds. It was marketed as a show about nerds. And like in every sitcom, the formula is just poop on the main cast for what they do, right? Like, they make fun of Joey and Friends for being an actor constantly. It comes with the territory of sitcom. What I really liked about it, though, is that it made a lot of that nerd stuff like more accessible for people, and there was a subset of people who actually, I think, engaged more with like classically nerd things because of Big Bang Theory, or they tried out classically nerd things because of Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. Like, listen, the show was not enjoyable for me to watch. I think it did a lot of really good stuff for like nerd culture. You know, it kind of popularized or made all right to be like a big nerd. Like instead of like, if you were like one of those kind of like you know, really like geeky people. So like you have some kind of weird specific interest and you just spam talk about it all the time. I think where that used to be off-putting or people like would make fun of you perhaps more viciously, now you know, people will be like, "Oh, you're such a Sheldon." Which is like, I mean, if you watch the show, Sheldon comes out of that show looking pretty decent, man. You know? He's not, we're going again, of course. Of course we're going again. He's not like the... Like, he comes out good. Like, he comes out at the end with the girl. Loved. Not a bad end for that guy, man. You know, I think he wins a Nobel Prize. Like, come on. What's wrong with that, man? Like, yeah, I get it. You don't want to be called a fucking dweeb or whatever. But anyway. That was another one of those things where, like, any exposure is good exposure. It brought a lot of things to the forefront. I think it really had a noticeable effect on the economies of certain things like comic books. You know what I mean? People would want to be like Sheldon and therefore be like, oh, I got some comic books. And then other people would be like, oh, you're a fake and a poser. And it's like, but they would own those comic books, man. That's the other thing that kind of upsets me. A lot of like nerds, people who identify as a nerd, I guess, will poo-poo those who are like, let's say, Big Bang Theory nerds. And be like, oh, you're not a real nerd and stuff like that. Which is the dumbest thing you could say to a human being. But then also, what is this? Cartographer's ring. Some floors are familiar. What does this mean? Sometimes reveals the floor. Alright, cool. What was I saying? Nerds. Oh yeah. They'll be like, oh, you're not a real nerd, man, because you like the Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory is not like what real nerds do and stuff like that. It's like, I mean, you're right. Sure. It's not for nerds. But like, they'll say this, and yet the person they're talking to will own like every comic book from like a series of comic books. And the person shit-talking them will have no actual comic books in their home. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, I don't know, man. If you want to just judge who's a nerd by, like, who has the most comic books, then you're losing that battle, you know? Anyway, I like the popularization of these things, even though it reduces the quote-unquote purity of these things. So, something being super obscure or indecipherable or, you know, obtuse doesn't, I don't think it makes it better. Like I don't play 2E D&D because it's broken and garbage. Listen, it's responsible for what we have now, and that's wonderful. But that's not a reason to like think it's hot shit, you know? Just because it's the first or whatever, you know, D&D you play doesn't mean it's the best. I mean, listen, it's like talking about 3.5. 3.5 is just the most bloated, indecipherable mess possible. You know? Loving 3.5 because it's impossible to interface with after a certain number of splat books doesn't make you more of a nerd than someone liking 5e because the rules make sense and are easy to follow. Yeah, you can do less cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff in 5e than you can 3.5, for sure. I'm not trying to argue that, like, you know, 5e is a more robust overall system. Whoa, what is this? Knife shield. Oh, we can't afford it. We gotta get the key. I wanted it, though. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let's check up north. But yeah, anyway. I'm not saying it's a more robust system, but it's a more accessible system. And accessibility doesn't have to come at the cost of, like, doing the thing you want to do when these systems are built on doing whatever you want to do. Raiden coil. Does this shoot electricity? Oh, even better. It shoots a big purple laser, dude. This has got to be our second chest, right? So, like, I think we should do that after the boss. No, Buffbird! Why you come and stink up a perfectly fun run? You jerk. Also, I'm not phoning it in on the gameplay right now, but I'm trying to talk more, just in general, about stuff. And less just, like, describing what you're watching on the screen. And so while I go, oh yeah, baby! Look how bright that laser is. That is spooky. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. If people like the thing you like, but the wrong way, you're the asshole, okay? That's it. That's how it goes. If you ever look at someone and say, you like the thing that I love wrong, you're the dick. And remember, you know, Wheaton's rule. Don't be a dick. Even though Wheaton's a dick. You can all agree with that. I think everyone loving D&D, I can't believe we got hit by a rocket. I can't believe we've dodged all of the chain fire and then we got hit by a frickin' rocket, man. Yo, that's embarrassing. I would have perfected that fight if I didn't get hit by a rocket, which is literally a giant circle that appears on the ground that you simply have to move left or right out of. You can move up and down even. Alright, what is this? What is this thing? Chloranthy wing. Do we dodge better now? Its ancient ring spins slowly about its axis, even when worn. It's on what? Chloranthy ring. Okay, I mean I'll take it. Sounds good. No key. I guess we'll explore that room just to see what it is. It's probably a chest though. We're gonna have to call in our ammo here for sure. Raiden Coil did its job, killed the boss, but unfortunately... Oh, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Yeah, die chest, die! But yeah. Right now I'm in a campaign with some World of Warcraft friends. Oh, the floor has been revealed to me. Nice. We're playing through Curse of Strahd, which is like, if you don't know D&D and stuff like that, it's like Dracula.D&D. It's got a ton of inspiration from media like Dracula and Nosferatu and all these kinds of stories. It's very like Transylvanian. Takes place in a plane of existence known as Barovia. Just like Bavaria, but spelt backwards. Like the, you know what I mean? The V and the R. It's ruled over by this evil man called well, is he a man? Or is he a beast? You know what I mean? We don't know. We do know. We do know. He's a beast. Anyway, and he's a vampire. Probably. I haven't played through the module, and I haven't read through the module, because I often play it, and I don't often DM. And when I do DM, I make really silly homebrew campaigns, because that's more fun, for me, personally, than using the existing adventures. And I think that the writing on the real adventures is a lot better, so I like to play through them, you know what I mean? And I don't want to ruin myself for the experience by like running, you know. Anyway, long story short, we're playing through vampires, death. We're in a location called the Death House, and in the Death House so far, it's been I don't know, man. It's been pretty fun. You know, for being a place called the Death House. A lot of death for sure. You know what I mean? There's fear of dying, as there should be. Our DM is taking some liberties, let's say, with some of the mechanics. So there's some decent homebrew in terms of like healing and things like that I think are working pretty interestingly. It certainly makes it feel more like it's supposed to. Regular D&D can feel a little 5e this is specifically. It can feel a little bit like so 5e is like you get your power fantasy in 5e. PCs can feel very, with no homebrew, can feel very powerful and not invincible, but like often the danger you face is just like manufactured. It's not real danger that you're in. Like, for instance, oh man, you hate to lose this ammo. Anyway, it's like the DM's like, oh, you should be scared, but like really you're like, I'm not scared at all. So some of the homebrew stuff that this DM's added has made it feel a little bit spookier, which is nice because we're supposed to be pretty spooked out. I'm playing a paladin, a lawful good paladin, of course. I'm using variant rules from the World of Warcraft. So, some people have made a World of Warcraft RPG, like a rule set, basically, so the classes that are in WoW have been ported over to 5e. I don't think it's like super balanced, to be honest with you. I think it's they're pretty strong, but I'm just purposely avoiding taking some of like the stronger interactions because I believe that would become silly very fast. And I'd like to like have fun playing with my bros, not walking around one-shotting stuff. I'm called Dak Elrith. That's my name in this D&D game, and I don't know. It's been pretty fun. It's been fun to play. So of the people who are playing, I'm the only one who's played before, and the DM has DM'd, I think, 2 other times, both of which I think were Strahd. It's like Strahd is their game. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It's definitely been interesting playing with people who don't play D&D, because as someone who's played D&D for like a really long time, you kind of get used to how D&D is, but like any other game, you know what I mean? Like, you get used to how D&D is played, and a lot of the times, in order to increase my fun, you know, I might want to make suboptimal decisions or do things suboptimally because I'm focused on wanting to have a good time. But in this case, I don't have to do that at all. In fact, I'm playing as optimally as possible because the party, who doesn't really know D&D and have kind of like those D&D instincts, they are wacky and wild. They are doing stuff just because they feel like it. We do have someone playing chaotic neutral, and they are embracing. This is a meme within the D&D community that is easily understood, in my opinion. They're playing chaotic neutral, which is also called chaotic stupid, when applied the way that this particular individual is playing, where they just kind of do whatever they want. That's what they take chaotic neutral to mean, and it just leads to some really fun and really wacky situations. So, no, but it's a great deal of fun. You know, we got a guy who's fighting, whose lifelong enemy is a clam, as inspired by the fisherman background. I don't know, it's awesome. And it's also awesome playing with people who don't have kind of like these like preconceived ideas about how to play D&D or what your character should be and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a good deal of fun. That's what I'm trying to say. Aha, you raccoon! I bested you, fool! I never went into this room, so you couldn't steal anything, and now I've got the trash cannon. And it's just got a synergy with something. I've got Grouch, because I have junk. I see. Yeah, D&D is awesome. If you haven't played D&D, I recommend playing D&D. It's great. You know, all you need is a group of people. You don't even really need that anymore, because you can just talk to people online or get a group online and just go from there. So it's a great deal of fun. It's as long as you're not DMing, it can be relatively inexpensive. Like free, basically. If you're DMing and you don't have access to resources from a friend or something like that, it's absolutely the startup cost for D&D is not free. But if you do have access to the books, be it through a library or knowing someone who has the books or something like that, you know, I would say, goodness me, I would say it's fairly accessible cost-wise. It's also fun if you just like having a good time with pals. And it can be for many sized groups. You know, you can have like 5 people or 2 people or 7 people. There's drawbacks and there's pros and cons to each. If we die to fucking ammo conda again, by the way, I'm gonna riot. No. Oh, almost got myself in a bad spot. Okay, just die, ammo conda. Just die, you frickin' you jerk. Oh, good dodge, good dodge. Here we go, here we go. We got a full focus here. Nice, okay, thank goodness. But yeah, can't recommend it enough. Also, if you want to play Deadpool, if you want to play, you know, friggin', you know, Mary Poppins, you do what you want, okay? Anyone who says D&D isn't really about that or isn't really for that, they're not telling the truth. They're feeding you a line based on the way that they play the game. And what they should say is, I don't play the game that way. And then, you know, you either have a conversation with them about how you want to play the game, and they either say okay, or they continue to be a jerk, and they say, or they don't have to be a jerk about this, I guess, or they'd be like, hey man, sorry, that's not the way I prefer to play, and then they don't play with you, and you find a new playgroup. Or they, you know, they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine, everyone's permitted to play the game however they want, and then you guys all hold hands and have a good time. Yeah, there you go. I think the real tricky thing about D&D, and this is like true of almost everything, it's a scheduling problem, man. It's like the games can sometimes take a while. And sometimes a while is like 4 hours. And it's tough to schedule a lot of people to do nothing for 4 hours, you know what I mean? So that's really the scheduling boss is the biggest boss. Whoa! Got him. Big got him there. Nope. You know what? You know what we should do here? That's right. Whoa! Hello there, Rod End Coil. I was using you for bosses. Maybe you're meant for clearing entire rooms. That was quite spooky. Nice. Oh boy. Didn't like getting hit there. Yeah. Another good thing about D&D is that it's, you can tell whatever story that you want. You know what I mean? If you want to be like, we're fighting dragons, you can do that. If you want to be like, we're in the Gungeon, you know what I mean? You can do that for sure. For sure you can do Enter the Gungeon, but D&D style. You can even have it have roguelike elements. Like, it's, I mean, the system is there to do what you want, you know? Sky's the limit kind of thing. You won't be able to do exactly Gungeon, like stock out of the thing. You'd have to spend some time thinking of rules, but that's the magic, man. You can just do that. You just invent entirely new rules because you want to. You just be like, I want to do this, but it doesn't exist in the game. Well, I just add it to the game. It's not like hard-coded. You know, it's not like in Gungeon, I can't be like, I want to be a dragon right now. You can't be a dragon. Man, it's coded. It's a game. You can't change it. It's immutable, you know? Not D&D. Also, we have $69. Nice. Okay, we've got to get the health here, but I really would... Oh, we could do both. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Give me a good item, buddy. Book of Chest Anatomy. Heart locket. Yeah, there we go. Now, our build right now is hot garbage. Hot garbage. I could not be less impressed with the build that I have going on currently. We have the pistol. We have a Raiden coil with like no ammo left. And then we have the trash cannon, which is not great and also has very little ammo. But we've got to kill the boss. And so, oh, we've got the cannonball. Okay. We got a chance, I think, against the cannonball, even if we have to pistol it. Alright, alright. He's gonna shoot like a barrage. Yeah, there it is. There we go. They bounce around for a second, so. Yeah, hit him with trash, dude! Hey, Cannonball, you're trash. Anyway. You can take one thing for what I've been talking about this whole time. Don't gatekeep communities you love to new people, and then be sad that the community you love doesn't have a lot of things. Oh man, why don't people like this more? You know? Maybe because you're a jerk about it, buddy. Okay, Cannonball Rog, it's time for you to go. Alright, we got no ammo left for any of our things, so we are officially pistoling down the 3rd floor boss. It's the only thing we can do. What a world we live in. Whoa! Those are not bad dodges. That was a bad dodge. I gotta never, ever give myself praise ever in this game, because I immediately take damage every time that I do. Strap in, by the way, because this fight ain't ending today. Oh no, oh, I'm so dumb. I used my active item on a gun that has infinite ammo instead of restoring the ammo of something that was good. No, 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 I hated that. No, 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 no. No, no. 2 bad dodges in a row. Makes Zek a sad boy. Like, we're doing it! Okay? We're likely gonna die, but we're doing it. We're getting through this with our little pistol. A little Marine that could. Shooting down he's a cannon Balrog, friends! And I'm dead. But still, great show on that fight until I died. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like button thing. Hit the like button even. I hope you have a good day. Alright, bye.